This is the Quantel QTube presentation as given at NAB 2012. QTube joins people and media wherever they are, in different buildings, different cities, even on different continents. In the next few minutes we're going to show QTube working with online and archive media, and we'll show both browsing and effects editing across multiple locations. We use three sets of technology at NAB: an SQ server here in Las Vegas, an online archive also in Las Vegas, and on the other side of the US, a real-life SQ system at WFMZ in Philadelphia. It's all joined together by public internet connections.
You're watching WFMZ TV's 69 News Live at 5.
WFMZ have been a Quantel customer for many years, and we were thrilled when they agreed to take part in the NAB presentation. Let's introduce the QTube browser using the WFMZ system.
First, I'll update the server bin to see the full list of clips they've provided for us. They've told us there's a clip called Rocket Launch, so I'll search for that by name. Double-clicking on it opens it in a viewer where we can play it. When I see an interesting shot like this, I can add a comment marker. This will be written into the central database at WFMZ, so anyone in the station or working via QTube will be able to use the information. We can also help our colleagues over there by creating a bin of interesting shots for them, just by marking in and out points and adding them to the list. So now I can add a name to this bin and then publish it to the WFMZ server. I can also add owner and category data too. If I go back to the main server bin and search again, there's my new clip for everyone to see.
We haven't created any new media at WFMZ, just some pointers to the original recording, but we've done some useful work to help the producers working on this story. Back here in Las Vegas, we have an identical system to WFMZ, an enterprise SQ server containing some local HD media. So now we're going to build a timeline with shots from opposite sides of the country. We'll add some audio transitions to make it more realistic.
Here in the bin search tool, I can select which of the three locations I wish to search. So I'll start with the WFMZ and pull out the shot selections I just made a few moments ago. The cut points between the shots are still there, and I can even trim them to make them longer or shorter if I wish. So now I'll look at the NAB server and select some of the shots to add to the timeline. I'll search for a clip called MVR Rushes. I can now mark some selections from this clip and drop them between the WFMZ shots on the timeline. I'll also tidy up the audio by adjusting the levels and add some crossfades. When I've finished, I'll just publish in the normal way.
The publish process tells QTube to fetch the WFMZ sections from their server and make the clip ready for playback on the system here. The time it takes depends on the quality of the internet connection and also whether we've selected full quality or compressed files. We'll now switch to a server playout port and view the finished edit in full high definition. QTube has automatically assembled the various components from Las Vegas and Philadelphia, and it's created the new audio track with the crossfades. So we've built a timeline which is ready for broadcast using content stored in different states. Let's now look at another QTube workflow. We're going to move to a Mac and open the QTube browser in Safari. Then we're going to select some content to download as a QuickTime file to use in Final Cut Pro 10.
I'm now in Safari. Here's the WFMZ system again. Here's those shots I selected earlier. This time I'll download them as a QuickTime file. You can see I have the choice of MXF and WAV files too, so it works for almost any video or audio software. And here's the video in Final Cut Pro 10 ready to start editing.
Let's continue the story now with our online archive. This isn't a Quantel server, It's just some standard spinning discs and a set of archived files. QTube makes it look like just another location. So editing with archive is just like working with online media. The archive is also connected via the internet. So let's go back to the QTube editor.
So now I can select the archive bin and I'll search for a clip called Air Ambulance. In the same way, I'll add some in and out points and drop some of these shots onto the timeline. One here and one here. I'll smooth out the audio again, and this time I'm going to add some video transitions. First I'll add a fade here, and now a really obvious wipe here. Now I'll cue it at the start and Trevor can record his voiceover across the whole timeline.
I'll start the voiceover as the rocket launch happens, taken from the WFMZ server over in Philadelphia. Then we inserted a dissolve to the archive shots of the air. As you heard, I was recording my voiceover across a timeline built from 3 different locations with video and audio transitions. So let's go back to the full HD playout one more time and review the whole piece. I'll start the voiceover as the rocket launch happens, taken from the WFMZ server over in Philadelphia. Then we inserted a dissolve to the archive shots of the air ambulance, then a cut to the racing car shots from here in Las Vegas, followed by another shot taken from WFMZ, and then that very, very noticeable wipe back to the shots here in Vegas, and then a cut to a final shot taken from the archive. So to recap, we've shown QTube in action, joining people and media on opposite sides of the United States to create a complex timeline with video and audio effects. We used online and archive media, and we used the browser and the frame accurate effects editor. That was the NAB 2012 QTube presentation.